Okay.
Yes. So, welcome, Jonet. Thank you for being here. So, Jonet is one of our consultant development and training team leaders. And she actually started exactly 2 years ago today, the Monday after Thanksgiving. She said it was like a fun fact about her. So I had to share that. And she also wanted me to share, and just to give you a background on her, she actually left as a top leader of a direct sales company to come to Scentsy. She was actually hired by Scentsy, and she was a top leader for thousands of people. And now she is one of our best people that we are so excited to have with us at home office. And Janae, we're very happy you're here tonight. So, well, I'll give the floor to you again. Thank you so much for being here with your wealth of knowledge.
Oh my goodness, you guys, thank you so much for having me. That was so sweet. And yeah, I do. I'd like to share that I did come from the consultant side, a different direct sales company, but the consultant side of a different direct sales company. And I really just like to share that because I think it's important to know things I share. I really do try to come with my consultant hat on. I know that sometimes when you do trainings, it's easy for people to give ideas or suggestions, and you're like, wait, but how do you know? And I just love to let you guys know that I have been in your shoes. I've walked your walk, and I am all about empowering and equipping you to be the best you can be in your business. And I just had this little feeling I was supposed to say yes to this opportunity at Scentsy. And it was a huge risk, obviously, leaving a big team, but it has been well worth every single moment. And I am just so grateful to be here. So thank you guys so much for having me. And we are going to talk about workstation email tonight. And I'll get a little bit more into that in just a moment. But before I do, what I would love for you guys to do, hold on, I just realized my chat closed when I started screen sharing. Hold on. Um, where did my things? Here we go. Trying to find my chat. Okay, what I'd love for you guys to do is if you're on live with us, shout out your leader in the chat here. You can give her a little like heart or however you want to shout him out. I just never want it to be lost on you how amazing it is, what a blessing it is to have leaders in this industry, in this business that are willing to spend their time and their energy and their effort investing in you and your learning and your development. It's so wonderful to have that kind of supportive leadership. So big shout out to them because they arranged this whole thing for all of us to be here together tonight. So thank you to all of them for doing that. And then after you guys do that, give yourself a little pat on the back. I always say that learners are earners. And I think that you guys showing up here live, or even if you're taking the time to watch the replay, it says something. It shows that you are investing your time, your energy, and your effort into growing your skill set, growing your knowledge. And I always am a big believer that the energy you invest will always be put back on you. You'll always receive it back. Whatever you plant, you will always reap the benefits of what you're planting and, reaping what you're sowing. So huge, huge shout out to all of you guys for watching this or catching even the replay. Okay, so we're talking about workstation email, and mostly what we're going to be talking about is how to maximize workstation email. And why this is a topic tonight is because we just launched at Home Office a new interface for workstation email. And we've been doing lots of research, lots of studying on the email, not even just emails in the direct sales industry, but emails across the board. And one thing that our team wanted to be sure of is that when we brought this new interface in, that we provided all of you with the support you needed to not only navigate it, like the how to use it, but also how to maximize the actual emails itself, how you can make those emails make you money. So if you guys are excited to make money with emails, put a little emoji in the chat so I know you guys are ready for more. And before we dig into it, I want to first ask you guys, what is the main channel that you use to market your Scentsy business? Oh, I love all the emojis coming in. It's fun because when you say drop an emoji, people drop their favorite ones. Typically, not always, but typically, or a recent one. And so it's fun to see like different personalities come through. And when I say market, how are you sharing about it? Is it through texting? Is it through email? Is it through social media? Is it face to face? Do you mostly talk to friends and family? I would love to see or hear, and there's no right or wrong answer. This is really just an icebreaker question to make sure we get the chat box all nice and warmed up. Project Broadcast. I love Project Broadcast. MailChimp, Facebook, snail mail, text and send snail mail, social media, Facebook and text. Okay, this is great. This is great. Okay. Marketing to help you grow your business. And then we're going to talk about a three simple step plan that you can use to have an email strategy in place. And then I'm going to give you six best practices for email marketing. And then we'll close out with three of pro tips. All right. Are you guys ready for that? If you're ready, do drop a little thumbs up in the chat. Okay. So before we talk about email and email marketing, I always like to think about like what happened to email. And I put this in here at first because when I first started looking into email marketing and we were working on this training, not even just this one, but we have a full course that we put in the training section of the workstation. I was thinking, what happened to email? Because it's interesting that email, 15 years ago, 20 years ago was like the thing. It was like so amazing and so cool that you could directly contact somebody virtually, right? Like email was like pre-social media. It was this big deal. Everyone loved the convenience of it. It was cutting edge at the time, right? And recently, and it's not utilized as much as it could be, especially by Scentsy consultants. It really isn't. It's not utilized the way it could be. And this just isn't for just Scentsy, just in general, it's not as much. And I'm a big believer that people probably started abandoning email with the rise of social media. I feel like social media was this like shiny new tool for the world, and that became not necessarily cutting edge, but it became this extremely progressive form of staying in touch with people and contacting people and communicating with people. But it's also a little overwhelming. How many of you would say that social media can be a little overwhelming? It is amazing. It's an amazing tool for you and for your business. And I don't want you to abandon social media marketing by any means because it has been a very lucrative platform for many people. So it's a great place for you to be showing up consistently in your business. However, with that being said, the crazy thing to me about it is that even with all the bells and whistles of social media, there's nothing evergreen about social media. They're always working on like what's next. I remember even like before we had Facebook Live, Instagram Live, and then they came out with Live, and then you can do all these new things, have these features, events, and groups. There's so many bells and whistles of social media. However, even with all of that, email outperforms social media by and large. Like in almost every way, email outperforms social media. So I want to take a look at those numbers with you guys and show you what I mean by outperforms. Okay, so we're going to first talk about open rates. So obviously, email is going to be a powerful and reliable tool for you to use in your business. And it's going to be a great way for you to increase customer retention, boost your sales, and convey any Scentsy promotions or news in a timely manner, right? But unlike social media, algorithms can impact your reach. So with email, you are directly contacting somebody, right? The algorithm doesn't have a say on whether your email gets sent to somebody. It goes to that person. It might go to different folders, depending on the person's email server, email system, or platform, but you are directly contacting that person. Now, with social media, depending on the person you're contacting, it could choose not to show your post to them at all. It won't even serve it up for them. So when we look at open rate for social media, we're really talking about how many people actually see your post, actually see what you're putting out there. And the average for social media is 5.2%. So if we look at this in like realistic numbers, if you have 100 followers and you put out a post, five people are seeing your post. This pretty interesting if you think about it. Only five people are probably seeing your post on average. right? Which is important to note because sometimes, this is just even a little plug for why you should be posting on social media and social media marketing as well. It's interesting because people will say, oh, it doesn't work, or I tried sharing about it. But if you only shared one time and you had 100 followers, only five people, only five for every 100 followers you have are actually seeing your posts. So that's why it's important to be consistent on social media. However, when we also compare it to email, email has an open rate of 21.5% on average. So that is a really significant difference of if you only had 10 minutes in your day, it would be more of an impact if you emailed versus posted on social media. Okay, let's take a look at click-through rates. So for click-through, click-through is when you put a social media post up and you put a link in there, maybe put a link in the comments or a link in the caption, whatever, wherever you put the link, maybe it's in a closed Facebook customer group and you have a link in there, 0.58% actually click that link on average. Okay, and then we look at email. If you send an email and you have a link in your email, the click rate is 2.6%. Again, a lot higher than social media. Okay, so let's look at conversion rates. So now, of all the people that click through to your website, a conversion rate is how many people actually buy. Because some people might go and look and shop around, but they don't actually buy anything. That's normal and just human behavior for social media and for internet usage. It's normal to go to a website and actually not purchase. So conversion rates are really important because when you do bring somebody over to your website, you want them purchasing, right? You want a high conversion rate. You want them actually shopping. For social media, the average conversion rate is 0.7%. 0.7. Now, when we look at email, the average is 1.8%. Again, a lot higher. And here's something really, really fun. Actually, our technical program manager, Chad, him and I worked very closely on this project because he was doing all of the home office side of the new interface, all the IT stuff, and I was doing all of the training side of consultant development training stuff. And so we've been working very closely. And he came by my desk today and was showing me Scentsy's conversion rates. And I think this is highly fascinating because the average for industry, and this is across every industry, average is 1.8% for email. Scentsy's, as literally for all of this last 30 days, was 5.46%, which is pretty phenomenal. I mean, like we are surpassing this industry average by far. Again, if you think in hundreds, if you send an email to 100 people, that's five people actually shopping from your email. So it's a really good conversion rate. So that was kind of exciting and fun to see today. And I was really excited to share it with you guys. I told them, I said, I have a call tonight. I'm actually going to tell them about that because I think that's really a great statistic. Okay, so now let's look at ROI. So ROI, Becky, yes, we are the best. She said, because we're the best. ROI is return on investment. So this was kind of interesting. I wanted to make sure we talked about this because for an ROI on social media, this would be, we all know it's free to use social media. But for people that if you were getting on social media to advertise, to market, and you paid for it, if you're paying for a sponsored ad, which I'm just going to put a little disclaimer in here, I'm a huge fan of organic and authentic growth on social media. I do not think that sponsored ads are the way to go for our industry. That's just my personal belief on it. But if you were to spend money on advertising on social media, the average return on every dollar spent is $28 for every $1 spent. Now, again, this is industry standard average. So you got to think like there are Coca-Cola doing sponsored ads. There's like all these big multi-million dollar companies doing sponsored ads. So the ROIs, it's a little different. I feel like that's a lot. Like every dollar you spend and you're getting $28 back, that's pretty good. But you got to remember, I don't think sponsored ads work as great for our industry, but I wanted to show you this for a specific reason. I'm getting to it. But if you still compare that, even if you pay for social media marketing, for every $1 you spend to email market, the return rate is actually $42 for every $1 you spent. $42. And I wanted to show you this comparison because, again, I think it's so important to see the difference of what social media's averages are for marketing and then what email's averages are for marketing and why it's so important for you to be showing up in email marketing. Now, you might be thinking, yeah, but I don't pay to email in Workstation. And you would be absolutely right. You would also be crazy not to use something that's free to you. I don't want you to think that just because it's free to you, that it's free. That is a cost that Scentsy, they take that cost for you. It is free for you to use your Workstation email, but believe you me, it does cost for every email that is sent. So that even more reason for you to be taking advantage of this marketing tool that you could be using at free to you costs, right? Okay, so I hope you're feeling inspired to start email marketing and to start utilizing this more in your business. And I do want to just put a little plug in here that if you haven't seen the new interface, haven't used it, it was in beta mode for a while we still had the legacy or the older version of email. And we took that away in mid-November. And now the one that was in beta is the new workstation email interface. It's phenomenal. It's amazing because it's super intuitive, so easy to use. And my favorite part of it is that it tracks the PRV. So it's going to track for you when how much PRV you're getting per email that you send, which I think is awesome tool because there's all kinds of different email marketing platforms you could use out there. I know that people use like MailChimp or uh, what's the other one? Constant Contact. There's a few different ones that people use, but it's not going to let you, those ones aren't going to let you know how much PRV that came from that one email. So that's kind of something unique and cool that we have at Scentsy. So if you've not used it or you're new to it, we did an entire lesson. It's a whole video walking through how to use it. I think you're not going to have any issues using it. It's pretty user friendly, but if you still want that walkthrough, if you go to Workstation Email is the name of the course, but the name of that lesson is Navigate. Workstation Email Navigate. There's a whole 2-minute video that we did to help you walk through that. Okay, so that's there for you if you need to use it. There's other lessons in the course. I'll mention it a little bit later, but now, if you're feeling inspired to be using email marketing a little bit more, one of the most important things that you're going to need for email marketing is a strategy. Because without a clear strategy, it's going to be easy to be inconsistent or unfocused with your email. And having that well-defined plan, and I like to call it plan, strategy to me feels like this big, like, it feels like really overwhelming and a lot of work. And it doesn't have to be. It really is just having a plan. Really, that's all it boils down to. But having that plan is going to ensure that every email you send is purposeful and it's aligned with your business goals. And when I say business goals, I mean, if you're wanting to sponsor more, you need to be talking about sponsoring in your email. You're marketing the business opportunity, right? But if you're every email that goes out is all about this LTO, this LTO, this LTO, and then you're frustrated that you're not recruiting, well, were your emails aligned with your business goals? Maybe not. And if you're emailing in the moment or like, on the fly, you're like, oh, I got to send an email. It's going to be really easy to not really think strategically, really think through your business goals and what you're wanting out of your business. And you're going to be like, what's new? What's going on right now? Oh, Lion King. Okay, I'm gonna email about Lion King. So having a plan is going to help that everything is aligned with your business goals, and it's going to help you be more purposeful with all of those emails that you send. Also, it's going to save you time because you're planning ahead. So you're not scrambling and stressing last minute for email content. But I want to show you guys that it doesn't have to be this like super overwhelming thing. I want to show you that you can do it really in 3 simple steps. So step 1 is to plan your email content, to look at upcoming promotions, holidays, events, look at what's happening, and then decide what you would like to share with your customers. So one thing that's really important is if you look right now, all the month of December, you could see what's coming for Scentsy. What things do we have? Lion King, Snowman. You could take note of anything you want to share with your customers, but also keeping in mind what holidays are going on, what events are happening. For example, since we're in December, I'm going to talk about December, but we know that it's gift giving season. So this is a great time to email about the gift guide with ideas for shopping with the $25, or there's different categories of pricing for the gift guide. This is a great time to share that with your customers because they're probably gift shopping, right? So thinking of what not only what's happening at Scentsy, but keeping your customer in mind. What is your customer going through? What are they doing? What's happening in their world right now? For example, if it was like graduation month, like May-ish, okay, this is the time they're buying teacher gifts and they're buying graduation presents for their for kids or family or people they know. So that keeping those kinds of things in mind will help you deliver relevant content to your customers that's going to be very valuable to them. It's going to be things that they find very useful and helpful. And it's going to obviously make them want to keep reading your emails and be interested in what you are marketing and sharing. Another resource just is planning ahead guide. If you go to the news tab article or news, if you go to the news tab, there's news article. That's the number one. It's the like it's always pinned, so it's like the number one in the list. But that news tab article will show you all of the promotions that are coming for the month. So it will help you with your planning for your Scentsy products or anything. Like for example, we had the November host exclusive. You would have that kind of information that you could plan your content with. Okay, so once you plan your content, you have a list of everything you want to share with your customers. Now, again, this could fluctuate. It could be 4 things, it could be 8 things, depending on the month and what's happening. But once you have that list of content that you want to share, the next thing is going to be identifying your email frequency. And this is really just looking at, okay, I know that I want to talk about this, and this. What days am I going to send that? What days am I sending the email to my customers? And then putting that on your calendar and identifying when you're going to send it so that you know, okay, when November 5th comes around, I'm going to be sharing about the Mufasa Buddy as a great Christmas present for kiddos and grandkiddos. Okay, so this is an example. So just identify when on your calendar. Again, could fluctuate. A good cadence is at least once a week, and up to three to 4 times a week is fine as well. Okay, I'm gonna come back. I see some questions in the chat, but I just want you to know I'm gonna finish through this and then I'll come back and do Q&A at the very end, just so we don't get too derailed with content. And I might end up answering one of your questions with some upcoming content. Okay, so step 3 is to design and test your emails. It really is that simple. Put it into action. You would probably be very surprised at how many people take the time and the energy to plan their content, pick the days they're going to send it, and then never actually do the thing. They never actually send it. Don't let that be you. If you are investing your time into planning your email content and choosing when you're sending your email, make sure you take the time to design it, to like lay it all out, get your picture, get your text, and test it. Make sure the links are working, formatting looks good, and then you can send them on the days that you're supposed to send them. I'm a big believer in I'll say batch creating, because you can go in and it will save as a draft in the workstation. So you could go in and do 4 emails at one time, but then wait to send them on the days that you want to send them. Okay, so now once you have the strategy, I hope you guys feel like it's simple, and it should be. It should not be something overwhelming to you. It should be a simple thing that you're able to utilize in your business. Now it's time for 6 best practices for when you're email marketing. Okay, so the very first tip is to choose one topic per email. And this is really, really, really important, you guys, because remember how I told you Chad came by my desk today? We were actually looking at consultant activity and workstation email. And I cannot stress enough to you how important it is that you choose one topic per email. Our consultants with the highest PRV from emails have one topic in their email. One, only one. And I know it's going to be very tempting to get on there, for example, maybe yesterday or today, because all this new stuff just launched here at Scentsy, right? And you want to get on, you want to talk about December scent warmer of the month, the Snowman Buddy, the Mufasa Buddy, the new Lion King warmer, right? The whiff box, December whiff box, all these things, right? However, diffuser promotion, like there's a lot happening. However, an overwhelmed mind shuts down every single time. Every time. And so if you are overwhelming them with content, they just They exit out of your email. They like don't even maybe scroll through it all the way. They go to the next one. It's really important that you only do one topic per email. Now, and like I said, it's going to be tempting because you want to share all of it. But what you can do is think of everything you want to share and divide it up into 6 emails. Instead of sending 6 things in one email, send 6 emails. You could do 3 a week if you wanted and do it for over 2 weeks, but take the time to divide it out. And I think this is a really interesting fact that multiple calls to action, they actually often lead to lower open and click-through rates, and they dilute the impact of your content. A call to action is when you're saying, book a party here, view the Wicked collection here, look at the new Mufasa buddy here, and you're giving them all these things to look at and do. It's overwhelming and they don't do it. It dilutes the impact of your email. It is way better for you to send one a day for 6 days than to send 6 things in one email. Okay. And you want the Scentsy corporate emails actually do a really great job of this. If somebody reminds me at the very end, I can pull up. Chad and I were going over this today. I can pull them up for you and show you some screenshots because I took a bunch of screenshots of the corporate ones, and they're just a great role model for the one topic per email. But okay, let's go on to tip two. Okay, tip two. Increase open with engaging subject lines. So this is a fun fact that 33% of email recipients decide whether to open an email based solely on the subject line. Now, here's something I want to say because I do feel like there is a fine line to toe here. And what I mean by that is it can be tempting to be what we call clickbaity, which is like almost like you overpromise and then underdeliver in the email content. They get excited by what you're saying and they're curious by what you're saying in the subject line, and then they open the email and they feel let down and disappointed. You do not want that to be your email recipient. What you want is something that is exciting and sparks or piques curiosity, but the content delivers and aligns with whatever the subject line was. For example, if you said, oh my gosh, I can't believe we did this as your subject line, and they open it up and you have Scents of the Season, your customers are going to be like, what? What? They've had Scents of the Season before. What can't they believe they did? And what happens is you end up breaking trust with your customers. And when you break trust, they quit opening your emails because they're like, yeah, she always or he always does this crazy thing to try to get you open it. You open it and you're like, oh, wah, 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 let down. You don't want that to be your customers. You could do something like if it aligns, you could do it like for the sorting hat, the Harry Potter sorting hat. That was the first time Scentsys ever had audio or sound in a warmer. So you could have done something for that, like, or you still can, still time to do something like for the very first time, Scentsy is introducing ... or for the very first time, we just launched this, or dropping for the very first time. You can do something like that, and then you make your email all about, oh my goodness, we just added or just launched our first warmer with sound or with audio. Okay, so again, that's fun and curious, but the content aligns with it and supports whatever that subject line is. But you want to get creative. Like, what can you say in your subject line that is going to pique the curiosity, get them, it's going to make them want to click through because 33% of them are going to open based solely on whatever you say right there in your subject line. Okay, tip number 3, and I'm not ignoring anybody's questions. I'm just going to come back to them at the end. Don't worry, I'm not ignoring. Design with mobile in mind. This is really important because 80% of emails are opened on a mobile device, which means the majority of your recipients are looking at your email on a mobile phone. And why this is important is because when you're designing out your email, if you have an image that is the whole screen of your phone, they don't want to scroll. They don't want to look and keep looking or keep having to scroll to get to everything. So it's important that when you're designing your email, because you're most likely designing it on a desktop, that when you preview it and when you, after you compose your email in the new interface, when you're finished, you click preview and send, and it actually like I guess I hate to use the word force, but it force previews because when you can't send it until you preview it. So this box comes up and you can, at the top, it'll auto default to previewing it in desktop. But I want you guys to get in the habit of clicking the little mobile phone icon so you can preview what the experience will be in mobile. Since the majority of your recipients are opening this in mobile, you want to see how it looks. You want to make sure they're not scrolling forever. You want to make sure that they're not having to, look at this picture that's the entire length of their screen, right? So just remember that because it's really important for the psychology of if they stop reading your emails and stop opening them, if it's too long or too lengthy. Okay. Include a call to action. A single one call to action. Studies show that emails with a single call to action can increase clicks by 371% and increase sales by 161% when it's compared to emails that have multiple call to actions. So this again is really important. This kind of is what I was talking about earlier with the one topic per email. If you have, look at the new starter kit here, look at Lion King here, look at Wicked here. If we compared those emails, compare here, it's actually increased 371%. Clicks are increased 371% and sales by 161%. So again, just kind of reiterating the one topic, one per email, and only one call to action in that email. Okay, tip number 5, craft a clear and concise message. The average time spent reading an email is only 10 seconds. So if you think about it, most people are skimming your email. And actually, the more I was reading up about email marketing and just learning about it, the recommended and suggested number of words is only 50 to 70 words per email. Anything over that is probably not getting read. So you might take your time crafting this beautiful worded email and nobody's even reading it. Nobody's looking at it. And pretty much a lot of things we read even supported that after the second period, so only the first 2 sentences, people don't read it all. They like just scroll or skim. So again, really important to make sure that your message is just clear and to the point. And what the most important thing you want them to know, it needs to be in the first sentence, like the most important thing up front, and then maybe anything added or extra below that. 50 to 70 words per email, which doesn't seem like a lot, but you can actually do quite a good little email with that amount. Okay, last tip or last best practice is to segment your emails. So segmenting is where you do not send every email to every person, but instead, when you look at the email content that you planned out in your strategy, you look at what contacts of mine would like this email, which ones would be interested in this promotion or this offer. And the best way to do this is in our contacts tab. In your contacts now, you can tag them. And essentially what that is adding them to a group or adding them to a category. So for example, anyone that buys laundry products from you, you could give them a tag that says laundry lovers. Anyone that's purchased Disney products from you, you could give them a tag that says Disney. Anybody that has any kind of like wall fan diffuser, any products that have pods, add them as a pod. Pod person. I don't know, add them as a tag. And what you're doing is you're categorizing them. And what that allows you to do is it allows you to put them in these groups so that when you are emailing them, you are delivering to them content that's going to resonate with them because it's relevant to them. It's things that they are interested in. It's based off of past purchases or interests, things that they've maybe told you that they're interested in. For example, if you were sending a pod promotion to people that don't have pods, why would they be interested in that, right? They don't even have that product. But if you're sending it to people that have Scentsy Air or wall fan diffusers or whatever it is, they're more likely going to be interested in pods that are in a flash sale, right? So it's really important that you do this because all of the statistics show us that segmented email campaigns, so we take the time to send an email only to the people that you think are interested in it, it drives 760% increase in revenue compared to non-segmented. And the non-segmented, where when you send this email, the same email, one email to every contact, to everyone in your contacts. So if you're sending every email to everyone, stop doing that. You want to start, and it's going to be a little bit of work on the front end. I'm going to say that because I know that it's going to take some time to go through your contacts and make sure that you're tagging them and adding them to different tags. But start somewhere. Maybe you just start with Disney, right? Maybe you just start with the pods. Maybe you just start with laundry. Pick one thing, and you can go through your purchase history report. Is that what it's called? You can go through and look at past purchases from customers and then tag kind of according to things that they've purchased in the past. People can have multiple tags. So you might have a tag that is Disney laundry and pods. But taking the time to do that is going to help you deliver that relevant content that resonates with your contacts. And what it does is it makes them think, oh my gosh, every time this person emails me, I'm interested in what they're sending me. So I want to open every email because I don't want to miss anything. All right. It's really important that you take the time to do that. Yeah. Honestly, doing the over Christmas break, breathe over and do answer the questions. Okay. So a couple pro tips. Number one, make sure you set up a PWS. There's a lot of consultants out there without a PWS, and linking to your PWS is going to be essential for email marketing. In the new workstation email interface, there are pre-done templates for you. So there are templates already there, and you can add in your own pictures. But in there, there's buttons, like little like shopping button, like shop here kind of buttons. Those automatically link to your PWS, but you can edit them. You can click the little edit button and have it go directly to, like, for example, if you had some wicked pictures or graphics in the button, you could have it go directly to the wicked products, like any page on. You would just go to your PWS, navigate to the page that you want them to go to or be directed to, and you copy that web address into the shopping button. But no matter what, you're going to want a PWS so they can shop straight from you. Next thing is to build your email list. Now, if you don't have building email lists as part of your normal business like activity, this is not something you normally do, then you don't think about it, right? But if you set a goal that, okay, I want to have 100 people, add 100 people to my email list every quarter, every 4 months, that'd be 25 people a month. That's going to be a great way for you to like fill your funnel with leads, right? And build and grow your business. But if you don't have a goal, then you just don't do it. It just like it's like put on the back burner. You just don't think about it. But if you know that that's your goal, then you're going to be more intentional when you're at events to get people's contact information. You're going to be more intentional to making sure that you get the full contact information. So you can have their name and you can have their phone number and their email and everything that you need to be able to build your email list. But building your email list and bringing in new customers is going to be a great way for you to grow your business and utilize or not, maximize this workstation email. Because if you think of when we talked about right now, Scentsy's conversion rate is 5 people shopping for every 100 emails. Well, if you're adding 100 emails every 4 months, think about you're basically adding 5 new orders and over time, that's going to really compound. It's going to be great for you and for your business. So ensure that you're getting complete contact information. If you do a vendor event and you're doing like a drawing at a vendor event, make sure you get the complete information, but then also make sure you take the time to go enter them into your contacts in the contacts section of your workstation so that you can add them to your email list. And honestly, just as best practice, anyways, with vendor events, once you have their contact information, put them in your email and your contacts, send them all. You could tag them with Christmas Bazaar 2024, whatever the name of the bazaar was, and you have a tag for them and you can email them. Now, you can't subscribe them to your newsletter, but it'd be a one-on-one communication. You email all of them. By the way, when you add in a tag to your email, it still sends it separately to everybody. When you add a tag, like you can add laundry lovers, for example, if that was a tag you had created, and it's going to auto put anyone that has any contacts with that tag into the email. And then, so it's sending, but it still sends it to them individually. They don't get it like as a group email or anything. But it's going to be really important that you are sending them or adding them, and you can send them an email follow-up that says something like, thank you so much for stopping by my booth at such and such vendor event. It was wonderful to meet you. And because it's considered a one-on-one communication, you can even say, you have something in your stash or something you want to give them, but you can send them like even a personal special through there. So you're building a relationship, taking the time to get to know them, but you're also segmenting them in a tag and taking advantage of those leads and building your email list, of course. Okay. Also, sorry, one more plug. Um, Also, it is so common for multiple people to be on a Facebook party and not order. So, like, you might have 25 people in a Facebook party, but only five order. Don't let those other 20 people slip through the cracks. Send them a one-on-one message, invite them to join your email list. Let them know you'll be giving them all of the latest and greatest Scentsy news. That's a great way to make sure you're still building your email list every single month, not letting those people fall through the cracks and kind of starting that relationship with the people that even didn't purchase on the party. Okay, one last tip and then we'll do Q&A. Leverage AI. Now, I am all about efficiency and working smarter and not harder. And AI, artificial intelligence, such as ChatGPT or Gemini on Google, Copilot for Microsoft, all of those AI tools are great resources for you for all of those six tips that we just talked about, those six best practices. For example, I'm going to flip back to that screen just for a minute to show you. For example, if you were on this and you were trying to craft a clear and concise message, you could type out what you wanted to say and then ask ChatGPT to make this, to re-say this in 50 to 70 words. Or you could put your email content in there and say, can you give me ideas or 5 ideas for an engaging subject line? The more specific the prompt, the better results. My biggest disclaimer with AI is just make sure that it's still authentic. You don't want to be saying words you wouldn't say or, like using words you wouldn't naturally use. But it's a great way for you to save time. And it's a great tool for you that you can leverage with email marketing. Okay, I'm gonna open it up to Q&A. I do want you guys to know that we did a whole workstation email course in the training section. So definitely check that out because in the marketing lesson is pretty much a lot of what I shared with you guys today. But there also is there's other lessons in there. And the one that I think is going to be really beneficial for you is the analytics lesson because with this new email interface, there's analytics for open rates, click rates, PRV. And in that lesson, I wrote out anything you should do or you could do if you want to increase numbers in any one of those analytic areas. So it's a great little thing for you to be checking out, making sure you're in the know about with email marketing. Okay, so I'm going to read through some of the questions and then I'm sorry, I'm trying to, and then if anyone wants to unmute, that might be quicker if you want to do that too. But I'm going to scroll up because I know there were some up here and I don't want to miss any. Sorry. Hold on. Can we talk about when to use the marketing or communication type of email? I struggle with that. Yes. Great question, Bree. Bree, I'm actually a really big fan of just the marketing email. Communication email, the only difference, first, let me say the main difference is that it doesn't track PRV. The communication doesn't track PRV. Marketing will track your PRV analytics, communication won't. I just feel like you should always have a link back to your website in every single thing you do. And what if somebody purchased? So wouldn't you want to see the PRV that came from it? I'm a big fan of marketing. The communication suggestion would be like if you were sending a Happy Thanksgiving post and you weren't putting your link in there at all, or like a team communication post. So if you were just sending your team like a Happy Centiversary or something like that, that's fine. But if it's for customers, I always highly recommend the marketing. Um, Delinda,
Another,
okay.
I was
I
going to
know,
say another question that keeps getting asked was, can we schedule our emails?
yes, and that's exactly the one I was going to. Delinda just said, can we schedule? I can tell you that you can't right now. Also, that's something that's being worked on. So I would just kind of set a reminder in your phone if you have something that needs to go out on a specific date. Typically, obviously with holidays and stuff, this kind of gets messed up, or sometimes we're days of the month land, but typically we like to announce things on a Thursday and launch it on a Monday. So if you find out about it on Thursday, it gives you like through the whole weekend to work on an email for whatever's coming and have it go out on Monday when it's launched. But you could just set a little reminder to go in and you could work on the email, have it all designed out, laid out, and then just go in and click send. Great question though, guys. Okay. Is there a way for us to find out when Scentsy is sending out their emails? Sometimes I find I send out an email. Oh, yeah, yeah. The email, the morning, or send out an email in the morning, and then Scentsy sends one out in the afternoon. I can't figure out how they're choosing. Yes, there's actually, if you go to the Making Perfect Sense FAQ, it gives you the timeline. I want to say, like, I know the November one, I think it went out like the 11th. There is a time frame to it. And it's an FAQ. But that's just for the Making Perfect Sense newsletter. That's a great question, though. Okay, hold on. Bree, were you saying, can you give us Scentsy examples? Are you talking about showing you the examples that, I'm gonna stop share this. The ones that they send corporate. Hold on, I'm gonna put them, I have screenshots of them, so I'm going to put them all on one screen and then share the whole screen because I'm not sure if there's a better way to do it. Otherwise, I have to stop sharing between everyone. So hold on one second. Let me open these ones I have examples of. Where'd it go? There we go. Hold up. Okay. Okay. Let me screen share this. Okay, so these are 3 email examples from Scentsy. And if you look, like, let's look at Wicked first. So here, Wicked, we have one picture and it doesn't even show. I do also want you guys to notice this. It doesn't even show what the warmer is here, or what the bar is, which is, again, kind of sparks that curiosity of, wait, Wicked, what Wicked products do they have? And then there's one shopping button right here. And then look at the amount of text, like hardly anything, right? And then if you come to look at this, seasons sweetings up to 60% off. The only text is right here at the top, and then one call to action. Now, if you look over here at the gift guide is back, I think this was a GIF or GIF. I never know how to say it. I can't remember for sure though, because I just took screenshots of them as examples. But then again, look at the amount of text and then the button to shop. So these are really great as like little role models or examples to emulate your own personal emails after. Also, I hope it makes you feel a little bit at ease about you don't need to craft this beautiful, like long worded email, like straight to the point, what it is, and give them a button to go shop, right? Or straight to the point about business opportunity and then a link to go join your team. Straight to the point about host exclusive or hosting a party, host rewards, a link to go have a book party, right? So it's to the point. Is that what you were wanting to see, Bree? Okay, let me see.
Subject line is next.
Okay, subject lines are the hardest part of the email for me. Like, okay, yes, that's a great place to leverage the AI. Throw it into ChatGPT, throw your email into ChatGPT and say, craft a. I always ask for options for things like that. Say, give me 5 options so you can choose. And you might not even use one of them word for word, but it might spark some ideas for you. Another really good little tip I never mentioned earlier is that don't add too many emojis or exclamation marks in your subject line because they get flagged as spam. They're way more likely to get flagged as spam if there's more than one emoji and more than one exclamation mark. So try not to use too many of those 2 things. Yeah, subject line. You guys all talked about that. That's good. Mary, the right amount of scrolls for mobile. I would honestly role model it because different phone sizes or people might open on an iPad or, it's kind of a little bit different for everyone. But what I would keep in mind is the 50 to 70 words, keeping it less than 50 to 70 or keeping it within the 50 to 70 range. You will be safe with the amount of scrolling. Roseanne said, what's a great opening line on emails? It really does depend on what your email content is. If I look at these ones Scentsy did, like the Wicked, it says Gravity with a new collection inspired by Universal Pictures cinematic event Wicked. It's really just letting you know exactly what they're wanting you to go to or pointing you to. So it's not like, I guess what I would say is just cut the fluff with it. Don't put in there, hey, hope you're doing good. Happy November. Wow, Thanksgiving's over. Or happy December. Thanksgiving's over. Like they cut to the chase, get right to the point and exactly what this email is all about. Um, oh, breathe. She said, Jonet, this is flipping gold. Oh, good. I'm so glad you love it, Cindy. Um, oh, Donetta said that she segments with Project Broadcast, but she's never done that with emails. Yes, you guys are gonna, you need to try it out. And what I have been telling people on our last, I've done a few of these trainings with Workstation Email is test it out and you will see because we've looked at all of the Scentsy consultant statistics. And when they're segmented, they always perform better. So try it for a while. Again, it's gonna be a little bit of work on the front end because of having to go tag contacts, but it will be well worth your time invested. Um, let's see. Oh, Delina was saying that Scentsy deletes contacts after 6 months if they haven't opened emails or bought and you don't want your contacts deleted. So I do think you could go and if you, it'd be a little bit harder to track probably, but I think I would like probably save them in an Excel file. You could always add them back in and do kind of like a reach out later, like a couple of months down the road and say, hey, we miss you. I think that's done. Now that I'm saying this, I don't know if we still delete contacts. I gotta double check on that. I think
It's
that
not so much that they delete the contact, but they delete it so we can't have them get our newsletters anymore.
so
So,
yes, and the newsletter is a little different than sending out these kind of emails. Like I think that they don't get your perfect sense
but
newsletter.
they don't even get our marketing emails when we send it.
Okay.
Because I had three customers over the weekend. I was sending them saying, hey,
Yeah.
we're launching. And they said that they're not allowed to receive them. So I had to send them from another email. So it's like, and that's why my question was, are we going to have that option now back since we have a new marketing thing?
I think that whole thing was put in place. I'll find out about that, you guys, and then I'll email Erin and she can, or message Erin and she can let you guys know. I know that was put in place because of the whole like scam base or not spam. Like if too many people get emails and they don't open them or don't shop, it will start sending stuff to spam more. And obviously we want to protect people's emails from, we want to minimize that as much as possible. Some things are out of our control with what gets sent to spam, but statistically probably better they're more likely to click and open and shop if they have purchased. But I'm going to find out first about the if that's going to stay a thing and I can let you guys know. I'll let you know, Erin, and you can relay the message. Okay, I'm just double checking it. Oh, Mary asked if Cynthia's going to allow us to add people to the newsletter. I think that's like a legality thing. Like technically we're not supposed to subscribe people, like they have to choose to subscribe on their own. Oops. But when you're sent, like if you add contacts in and then you send them an email, like your own email, it's not through the newsletter, it's not something they're subscribed to, it's something that you're choosing to send to them. It is a little bit different. It's kind of like a loophole, I guess. Bree said news tab announces on Thursday, launches on Monday. Better to send ahead of time for pre-orders for once it's live. Okay, I'm not a huge fan of pre-orders only because if things sell out, it can be so frustrating. I do think that you could do like an announcement right after, maybe even on Friday, say, hey, this is coming. And then you could say, like, if you want to make sure you don't miss it, reply back and I'll personally email you the morning of. So then you're getting them to respond back saying, yes, I want to not miss out on the Wicked Warmer or whatever it is. And then you can add them to a list of people to follow up with as soon as it launches. Not that you can't do pre-orders, it just can be a little scary, kind of depending on the product as well. Irene said in the workstation on your dashboard, it will say when you can edit your monthly. Yeah, it will let you know. Yes, you're right. When you can edit your monthly newsletter. Okay. Did I miss any questions? Yeah, Kathy, in the new interface, I think there's four templates, three or four templates that are already in there. And it will give you like one has like just, it's kind of looks like this, the corporate emails, where it's like one picture, one button. Some have multiple pictures. In the multiple pictures, again, because I said one topic per email, just you can show different pictures of that same product or whatever you're talking about. That's what I'd recommend. Because the other templates have like multiple picture options.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you said, people don't want to keep scrolling.
Mm-hmm.
I find that people don't want to go to my PWS and scroll to find the subscribe button. Can Scentsy move it to the top of the page?
I'm sure they could move it, but I don't know.
Or
Yeah.
find some other way for us to give them a quick link for them to go directly down there,
To click it. Yes, that's a good.
yeah,
I wonder.
like something to add in the HTML address to make it go to the bottom.
I'm wondering too. Hold on. Is there like a direct link to that page? Double check. Hold on.
It's just your PWS homepage, but
It's only on there. Like you can't. Oops.
yeah, and it's at the very bottom.
I can ask them. I mean, I can talk to them about it. I don't know if that's as. I could talk to them. I could say, "Hey, this is suggested." It does not mean necessarily anything. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. But I'm wondering, like, if there would be even a way, just yeah, for them to, or for people to. I'm trying to even see where it is on the website. Download. You said it's at the very bottom? Oh, here, yeah. 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 I wonder, I mean, I can make a suggestion. But even yeah, they would have to definitely scroll to get to that. I wish there was a way for even them to go to like have a direct link to that page, like of where they could and subscribe. No, that's a good call out. I'm gonna make a note of it.
Thank you.
Of course. Okay. Let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Would Scentsy ever have a flash sale? Where'd my mouse go? Offering a percentage off if they enroll to newsletters like other business. Oh, well, they are working on coupon code stuff. I know that they talked about that. So maybe, maybe. I think that's a great suggestion. Honestly, Delinda, that's a great suggestion. Okay, I think I got all the questions, right? Did I miss anything? If it was,
This has
yeah,
been
it was on its own
amazing.
page. Say that again. So sorry, I missed.
This has been so good. I do a lot of text marketing. I really don't do a lot of email marketing for my customers. But like someone said, I think that's going to be my new goal is to get consistent at that now because I see the value in it way more. I do texting and social media posting, but social media doesn't really get me a lot.
Right.
I'm going to do texting and email marketing more and see if it changes with my personal stuff. So I appreciate like this is
Yeah.
really it would be really cool too to see how I don't know how you could track it though, like text marketing versus I think text marketing and email marketing is probably a good combo because you're gonna
Yeah.
get more clicks between the both than right now, which is text and social media.
Yeah, and it's that direct communication. It's instead of like social media, you just have no idea who sees
Oh
things.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. I mean, this is really good. I know, Aaron, do you have anything that you want to add? I know Aaron had seen this and or had seen you do this training, and this is
Yeah.
so enlightening. So if you guys are watching it, I'm gonna get this uploaded to YouTube on our channel. and I'll post it. That way you can share with your team members. You can rewatch. I know I'm going to be rewatching because I was distracted with little minions for part of the time. And there's so many good, I know that's you, so many good things in it. So I appreciate you so much. Erin, do you have to add anything? Do you want to add anything?
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello, hello.
Erin may be
Hello,
stepping away.
hello.
Oh, be quick. Yes, thank you, Jonet. This is awesome. Are you gonna, which world tour are you going to? Do you know?
I'm Tulsa and Baton Rouge, Austin, and Dallas.
Okay, well, I'm gonna email you because we're
Okay.
gonna invite you to a little
We'll see you in Tulsa.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
that's what I was gonna say. We're doing a retreat around world tour, and so I'm gonna come and snag you, hang out at
Okay.
our bonfire with us.
Yes.
And I love your
Totally.
last name. That's the town I live in. I live in
Oh,
Greenfield.
that's so fun.
Yes.
That's so fun. I love it.
Awesome.
Yes, I'm excited.
Thank you, Jonet. We appreciate you so much. Thank
Of
you for
course.
your time tonight. You brought so much good information. I'd never even heard a lot of that stuff before, so this is all new to me. And
Yeah.
my 17-year anniversary is going to be tomorrow. And I had
Oh, Jacqueline,
Anniversary.
congratulations.
That's so
Happy
fun.
anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Well, I will upload and record this, Jonet. Thank you again. We love you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
You're amazing. We'll see you guys next Monday. Please join us because it's our last Monday for a few weeks because of Christmas. So join us next Monday. We have a lot of really good content to bring you. So you guys have a great rest of your week, and thank you for starting off your Monday with us. Bye, everyone.
Bye, McKinley.
Bye.
Bye.